No more fear, no more doubt. We're leaving that in 2025 and it's time to rebrand me. Let's face it, life doesn't just happen by you sitting on a couch and wishing it to happen. It starts with action. Here's how we're going to glow up in 2026 without breaking our wallet. Of course, it's all about self-care and our mindset. So this is going to be really, really fun. We have to make sure we have our nails, our skin, our hair together, and also I got these new extensions on my lashes. So we can do some lash maintenance today, and yeah, just focus in on how we're going to rebrand ourselves, how we're going to smell good, look good, feel good, all in 2026 without breaking our wallet. I feel like 2026 got here so fast. I honestly can't believe it's even 2026. Looking back into 2025, I realized there are a lot of things that I want to change and rebrand. The one thing I set as a goal for me to work on in 2026 is becoming the best version of myself. When it comes to the best version of yourself, it starts with at home. It starts with self-love. It starts with patience. Also having boundaries with yourself, making sure you're putting yourself first always, and making sure you're doing things that are going to make you happy. Life is short and you want to make sure you're living your life the way you need to live it and making yourself happy, because in reality, not a thing, not a person, not a place is going to make you any happier or serve you the same way you can serve yourself. The next thing, I want to make sure I'm strengthening my connection with the Lord and my spiritual path, because in reality, you can get really busy doing multiple things and you could be trying to get to a goal and feel like it's not working out. But most of the time, it's because you're not taking time to praise the one that made you. So I'm going to make sure that I take more time to have a stronger relationship with the Lord. Some of the things that I also want to work on for rebranding, besides just self-love, self-care, taking the time, taking the patience, is making sure my environment is working for me and is pro me. Making sure my environment is as clean as it can be, because this is going to bring in a lot of abundance and it's going to bring in a lot of positivity. And being in 2026, that's all that I want is positive abundance, and I want a lot of blessings. So making sure that your area around you, your desk, your bathroom, your bed is nice and neat, and also your room and your entire house is so important when it comes to making sure the energy is flowing the way you want it to. Remembering, if none of these things are done, you're going to be stopping your own growth and you're going to wonder why things aren't working out in your favor. It's because you're not taking care of the things that are in your control. In 2025, I lacked a lot with making sure I was eating healthy and taking care of my gut health. And I realized that's something I don't want to neglect in 2026. It's something that is a luxury. Making sure that you are healthy, making sure that you're exercising daily, making sure that you're taking care of your insides, not just your outside, is so important. And I realized just during that time of the month, it was just the worst. Honestly, my skin would break out. I would be super bloated, just really uncomfortable, and honestly miserable like every month. So I realized having gut health is so important, to make sure that I'm taking care of me and making sure that I stay healthy, because I want to live for a long time. Another way I promised myself to glow up and become that girl in 2026 is to make sure I'm taking time to read. Also making sure that I do any type of journaling. That is so important, because you want to make sure that your mental space and you're mindful of everything that's going on in your life. So it's definitely important to make sure that I journal and have that mental clarity that I need. Making sure that I make taking care of my hair a priority, and making sure I do any type of treatments I may need for my hair, protein treatments, making sure I'm getting my dead ends clipped, making sure that I prioritize healthy hair is so important, because it's also part of my image. And it just makes you feel really good when you have your hair, your nails, your skin done. It's just the type of things as a female, it just makes us feel good about ourselves. And it also gives us good self-esteem. and I want to make sure I'm doing what's right for me. Another thing is putting myself out there and not being afraid of what people may think of me and perceive. Just really putting myself out there and going outside of my comfort zone and changing that about myself. I feel like it's going to make me more confident, and it's just also really fun to share your creativity with the world and not be scared. So that's definitely one of the things on my list to make sure I'm manifesting, putting myself out there, really dedicating myself to my content and being aware of that, and just making sure I keep myself on a strict boundary and prioritize my health, my skincare, my self-love, myself, and also making sure that I am very persistent with my content. Also making sure that I keep myself accountable for living a soft girl life, because that's what I said I want. And little things such as making sure you moisturize your hair, making sure that you get your nails done, making sure you get a massage, making sure that you get facials, and just really taking care of yourself in any one of those ways. It can also be like you get new furniture for your place, you may get a new candle. All the little luxurious things really do change up your routine and how you see yourself, and also how you're perceived. So making sure you're doing some type of journaling and just things to educate yourself, to make yourself more knowledgeable, is really going to be the real glow up. One of the things that I would love to check off is making sure I do more traveling. Personally, I've been to like California, New York, those types of things, but I really want to make sure I make it a plan to travel outside of places that I usually would go. I definitely want to go to Italy, New Zealand. I know it's weird. A lot of people probably don't even think to go to New Zealand, but I don't know. I just always felt that I wanted to go to New Zealand, and also like Hawaii, just a lot of tropical places. Also, I want to go back home to the Philippines and just, see family, and also the islands. So I definitely am going to be making sure I check off those things, because it's great to do self-care in those types of ways, but also I want to get to see the rest of the world and travel and just have that luxury. So I'm going to make sure I do that. Another thing is I've always had a dream to collaborate with many brands. So I'm going to make sure I'm doing my content and making sure I'm doing content that's not just for myself, but also to educate others and improve their lives. So far I've done really, really good, but I want to make sure I'm, maybe producing more content and trying new brands and exploring that, and just really getting a lot of partnerships and improving myself in my content, and just producing high quality content, making sure that I invest in my cameras, in my lighting, in me, because at the end of the day, I'm my own brand, and I had to make sure I protect that image and just share and educate others. Maybe there's people who want to do content and they're not sure if it's a good space for them. I want to be able to talk about that. I want to be able to have my own panel. I want to be able to collaborate with many influencers and companies and just improve myself and make sure I get that soft girl era and soft girl life and luxurious life that I deserve. No. Also, another thing that was on my list was definitely making sure that I start saving more money and do less spending unless it's needed, like for groceries, things like that. But making sure I put some money away so I can invest, and also putting money away so I can get my first car. Definitely that was something that was on my list, and I hope to be able to check that off. I feel like I'm going to be able to. I know one of the ways of manifesting your dream car is to take a picture next to your dream car and have that on your vision board. So I'm definitely gonna make sure I do that, because I really want a Jeep. That is like one of my favorite cars. My dream car though is a Porsche, and obviously with due time that's gonna happen. I also want to be able to invest in businesses, own my own Ulta, own my own cafe, own a Starbucks. I believe you can invest in one or some type of cryptocurrency with that. But I want to be able to actually start my own business and also start investing in one, whether that's digital products, makeup products, investing in some type of Bitcoin or crypto, or just investing it in myself and my improvement. I want to make sure that I'm making time for that and making things happen for the life that I want to live. Remember to always put yourself first and give yourself enough space to grow and be patient. And hopefully this video was very helpful and encouraging to a lot of you guys. And thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. And also, if you have any advice or any achievements that you've had so far in 2026, be sure to let me know.